Hey guys, welcome to another video on Brand Device where we talk about business and finance. My name is Bharat, and in this video I wanted to quickly talk about a little more in detail about the taxation system on Bitcoin in Germany, because recently I received a comment on my channel, and the comment was, I'm thinking of moving to Germany soon and I solely want to live off my crypto gains, basically living the early retirement lifestyle. So first of all, personally, I find it definitely very ambitious that you want to move to a country just because the crypto is not taxed at all after you sit over it for 1 year. So he asked further, so my question is, the day I land in Germany and I decide to buy 1,000 euros in Bitcoin on that very day, and then a year later it grows to 10,000 euros, would it be true that I wouldn't have to pay taxes on that 10,000 euros? Or would I have to pay an income tax or any kind of possible tax? So the main thing is that the cryptocurrency, if you're selling it within 1 year and you have made any kind of profits whatsoever, you will be taxed at the normal income tax level. That means it can go up to as high as 45%. So you have to keep this in mind. If you're buying for 1,000 and you're selling for 10,000, you are actually having the tax liability on 9,000 euros and not the entire 10,000 euros. So that is another thing. But if you're waiting for it for 1 year and you're not doing anything, then of course all of the gains that you have, that is for now tax-free. But I personally find it very ambitious because if you think about it, every single time you have to make a trade, when you make that trade, you have to sit on that specific trade for, let's say, 1 year, and you have to hope to God that that thing goes up and up and up. Another interesting comment that I saw on the channel, which I also personally believe, is from Marco. He said I think that's more or less a loophole in the German tax system. I'm pretty certain that the crypto gains will soon fall under the clause 21 Einkommensteuergesetz. So this ESTG is Einkommensteuergesetz, or the income tax law. If I had Bitcoin which I held over a year, I'd sell it, lock in the gains, not pay any tax, and then buy the Bitcoin back. This way you won't get effed once they change the rules. So that's what Marco says, and I also personally believe that this has not been point of, let's say, legislation for many of these parties, especially right now with the pandemic and everything, because where cryptocurrency again got a lot of traction. So I do believe that they're going to work on it. In Germany, there's nothing like a free lunch. So any kind of profits that you will make, you will essentially be taxing, because if you think about what Olaf Scholz said in one of his previous interviews, that was that previously in Germany, if you bought any stock and you were able to make some profit on it and you held on to it for 1 year, you were able to sell it at a very, very low taxation level. Olaf Scholz called it a tax loophole. And if you see the election program of SPD, the party which he's heading right now, they want to ban all of the cryptocurrency. So that's going to be the first thing anyway. So the political parties, they're not generally going to be in the favor of giving private digital currencies the power of being the mainstream currency or something. So one thing that you should remember, and I do believe that even though right now it is tax free if you sit on it for 1 year, I think over the next few months it is highly likely that the political parties also put their attention towards this and regulate it. For example, in Romania, Bitcoin is already regulated. So on cryptocurrency, you're paying 10% tax in Romania. And if you have gains over 6,000 euros in a year, you also have to pay the health insurance contribution, which is I think around 500 euros or something. But overall, you're just paying 10% tax, which is, not so bad. So that's the first thing. Another thing that many of you asked was, what is the story with mining? So if you're using Kudo miner or something like that. So I also have to make a video about the Kudo miner, because I was doing an experiment on if you let the Kudo miner or any of these mining softwares run in the background for a month or something, how much money can you make? It's been almost 4 months now, and I think I have reached I think 3.75 euros or something. And that is with my very old MacBook Pro 2014. So I think if you have a better computer and stuff, and if you have some GPU heavy desktop, then I think of course that is going to be interesting. But you have to keep in mind that as soon as you start mining, you are essentially tax liable, not just with the trade tax liability, but also on the income tax liability. So let me read you an excerpt from ING Bank. They have written it here, and I'm translating it into English so that you can see it properly. So anyone who produces a cryptocurrency using what is known as mining is basically commercially active from a tax point of view. And this is correct. In Germany, what they essentially see is if you had the intention of selling something in order to make a profit, then you were indulging in a trade activity. It doesn't even matter if you essentially in the end made a profit or not, or if you made a loss. But if your intention was to make money from it, you have to register yourself as a business essentially. So this Gewerbeanmeldung, this starts right there. So explains Royce, in response to a parliamentary question, the federal government writes, if cryptocurrencies are acquired or produced in the context of a commercial activity with the intention of making profits from the sale or exchange are to be recorded as part of the income from commercial operations. The costs for mining are deductible as business expense. So this pretty much means if you want to do crypto mining and you want to do it with the sole focus or something, then essentially you will be able to write off any kind of GPU costs, electricity costs which the computer is using, or the hardware costs and so on, directly away as a business expense. But this also triggers your full tax liability after the yearly limit of 256 euros. That means even if you earn 257 euros, you are tax liable not on the €1 extra, but on the entire 257 euros. So you really have to keep this in mind. Also, another thing that maybe many people should know about who are thinking that they want to move to Germany just because of the crypto reasons. So right now, of course, it's lucrative. If you sit over it for 1 year, it's very nice. I mean, one of the nicest, let's say, countries in that regard, that you don't have to pay any kind of tax whatsoever after sitting for 1 year. And this used to be the case even for stocks. The sad thing is that they just kind of screwed everything up. They called everything as a tax loophole, and they're trying to close it. So do not think that this is going to stay like this for a long time. So with 600 euros, you're essentially having the allowance of selling crypto every single year. But if you sell more than 600 euros, so if it's 601 euros, you're again tax liable on the entire thing again. So be very careful. Let's say if you're selling something, do not try to come to that specific limit. Keep some kind of leeway so that there's no drama with the Finanzamt or something like that, because I tell you, once they start looking at different kind of transactions, then you will have problems. One guy I was talking to, and he said why do you want to show that you have crypto or something? How will the Finanzamt even know? And the thing is, so Finanzamt sometimes just does random audits. Now, so not even audits, even if you're filing some kind of tax declaration, towards the end they will ask, okay, what was this money given out for? What was this bank transaction? What was that bank transaction? And when they see that you're actually putting that money in Binance or something, they're essentially going to ask, okay, where did that money go now? So then you have to show proof for that. So I do not think it really makes sense to hide anything from them, because in the end you will have just a lot more problems. So keep an eye out for this too. So 600 euros per year you can sell cryptocurrency for without any kind of problems whatsoever. But above 600 euros, you have full tax liability on all of the 600 euros. And when you're doing mining, you're allowed to earn 256 euros per year tax-free. As soon as you earn above that, you have tax liability on the entire thing. And you might also have to pay the Gewerbesteuer. This is the trade tax that Germany also charges when you are doing a Gewerbeanmeldung. So keep these two things in mind, but as long as you're just buying and holding, it shouldn't be a big issue. If you want to start investing in cryptocurrency, I've made 2 videos, one on how you can start buying cryptocurrency with Coinbase and one on how you can start buying cryptocurrency in Germany with Binance. You can take a look at both of the videos in the description, and if you're signing up for any of these exchanges, you can also use my referral ID. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any kind of other questions, you want my inputs on something, just let me know in the comment section below. I always look forward to hearing from you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.